This is the Red All Over reaction show to Barnsley's 2-2 draw with Peterborough, and we're also going to preview Barnsley versus Wigan on New Year's Day. Let's get into it. Craig, we'll start with you. Said as you thought we were going to get absolutely whacked 4-1. 2-2 draw, 2-0 up. It always falls into that category of 2 points dropped, 1 point gained, I suppose, because before the game, I think most fans would have taken a point away from them against Peterborough, given the form they're in. How did you feel about the performance yesterday?
I wasn't expecting to start. I thought we were relentless. That's the start we want to see in every game. Completely put them under the cosh straight away. They couldn't live with it. There were bad touches, there were bad passes, they were passing it straight back to us. They were trying to play a Man City based just pass it out system, and they were getting caught over and over and over again. And we're 2-0 up. I thought McCart, people are saying he fouled the keeper. I've looked at the replays. He got the ball first. Good call from the
McCart
referee.
weren't playing, Joe. Craig.
Not McCart, McAtee. Too many mix.
He snuck on from behind
McCarthy, McCarthy, come on, I'm from Barnsley, for God's sake.
Yes, I've got one thing to say to you, Craig. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas spirit, Craigie. Anyway, off you go.
Mate, I'm glad. Like I said, I wanted to be wrong, and I really
best
did.
of both worlds, though, Craig. I'm glad I'm wrong, but best defence in league, conceded 2 goals through 2 mistakes. Best attack in league, managed a couple. Go on, Craig, off you go. Try and be full of Christmas cheer, Craig. Happy New Year, Craig. Come on, son.
Does he think I'm mad?
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'll take a point. It's what I wanted. It's what I wanted.
A 4-1 draw, Craig.
Oh, God. Right, anyway.
We're tumbling down league, Craig, aren't we? New Year, we're tumbling down, Craig. Anyway.
Happy to be wrong, mate. Happy to be wrong.
I'm happy you're wrong, I know. Doubly wrong.
Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Am I all right to talk? Are you sure? You finished?
If you've got all worth saying, yeah.
One prediction I have got right is that Johnson Clark-Harris would isolate our weaker centre-backs, or who has been hamstrung into playing them roles, square pegs, round holes sort of situation yet again. I was actually impressed with Dodgson. I thought he played fairly okay, but he did get completely, that second goal, he was beating the air. The first goal, Dejuvene, were beating the air. Like I say, I don't think he's a dominant centre-back. I think he's more of a ball player. But I'm happy with that result. I'll take that result. I think we are 2 or 3 key signings away from being a real problem in this league. I think we need a couple of centre-backs and a backup for Luca. I think in January, if we can get them, I think we've got a real chance of making a real push. For auto, well, I mean, we're not even far from automatics. Let's be honest. So I'm happy to be wrong. I was underwhelmed by them. I don't think they played well at all. But I think we're starting to see signs of Collins getting what he wants pressing wise out the team, because I think he's starting to turn a few up players.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's how it looks. Tom, you were down at London Road yesterday, and as Craig's mentioned already, Johnson Clark-Harris with 2, and I think his first league starting 2 months. So it seems that Peter have done their own work in terms of knowing that we seem to struggle against some strongest centre forwards, especially for him to come in. It was a little bit. The goals we conceded, I mean, it's probably the same on Peterborough's end with the goals in which they conceded. Will have felt soft, but they felt preventable, the ones that we conceded as well, didn't they necessarily?
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I felt Clark-Harris didn't really have that many opportunities, but the opportunities he had, he took. He bullied the centre-backs, really. But I thought we set up quite well to sort of hamper them as much as possible. They were determined to play really, really wide. They got Mason Clark on the left and Ajibeye on the right. I'm probably absolutely butchered his name, but I'm sorry. And we got sort of 2 lots of 3 on either side. We got Williams, O'Keefe, and Phillips on the right. So as soon as he got the ball, just surrounding him and almost trying to stop the crosses coming in. And on the left, we got Styles, Dodson, and Herbie Kane doing the exact same thing, and we were stopping the ball coming into the box up until the 45th plus 2 minutes, and then it came in on the left, and he put it in back at net, and it did feel really, really easy and preventable. And then something similar for the second goal, really, but this time on the right rather than the. But yeah, I thought we set up really, really well for it. The amount of energy that came from that midfield to defend and also then attack and do the pressing. I mean, the pressing from the front was unbelievable. Philip and like I said, Phillips and Kane both were at back and getting forward for it. So yeah, I thought we played really well. To be honest with you, I thought it were unlucky that we conceded the 2 goals, really. But like you said, you look at their goals that they conceded, both from the press, and they will be arguing that they're poor goals to concede.
Yeah, I think it almost cancels each other out in a way, in the manner of the goals, I suppose. And not the most prettiest and well worked goals, but definitely 2 goals in which we can see a sign of improvement and sort of glimmers back to last season and the implementation of the high press.
Oh, we absolutely can. I mean, on the negative side, I had we had a message from Carl, the Peterborough fan, who said, "Don't worry about Clark Harris. He'll not be starting. He's not started, and it is, his attitude's not great, and he's going in January." Well, I wish he'd have been right, Carl, because that'd have helped. He's got good movement though, hasn't he? He's a big, strong lad and what have you, and he's got good movement. He lost Mile for the first goal. I think to be honest, I think we could have done better, both goalkeeper and it might well have been over the line before Jordan Williams tried to clear it. But if he'd have cleared it, it'd have been a decision for the referee to have to make. Then I'm not sure he'd have made it. But it's fair dues. Just a shame coming when it did just before half time. And then the second half, Owen's marking him, and then as the ball's about to come in, he's lost him. And that's what good strikers do. That's why he's worth, and he will be worth a lot of money to them. But on the positive side, we did the same to them. I mean, flipping heck for the first goal. Yet again, McAtee's there in like a good one, or his namesake McCart is there like a good one, and goalkeeper again, another goalkeeper thinking he's playing in Premier League or in European finals. Prannying about with the ball. Look at me, I'm confident, and and he nicks ball away from it. Goalkeeper thinks he's fouled. Well, he ain't, and plays it, and we've scored the second goal. Out on the right, Pratchett out on the right, and O'Keefe is there. He's in at him, and you know what to do. He gets the ball, plays it into McAtee, who squares it back for Devantico to smack it into roof at net, and they couldn't live with us. They are a good. I mean, let's I know I'm taking been taking a bit to watch it out of Craig, but he's right. They normally have a good defence, and they've got a really good team, which is why they're up there. They've got a good team. We matched them every step of the way, and I thought throughout the game, as the game went on, after the first half, we're winning 2-1, and well deservedly so, well deserved. And then when they scored at the start of the second half, I thought it could well be that we go back in our shell, try and keep it, but we didn't. We didn't do that. It could have gone either way. They had a couple of chances. They had an half decent penalty shot. I don't know if it were or not, but I don't care.
I felt it was. I don't think Connell got a ball, to be honest.
Wave it on. I agree with ref. Wave it on.
Stop.
I told you got to keep him on his feet. Don't let him slide.
Stop falling down like there's a sniper in crowd. That's all I'd say.
It's all right, as soon as they get a yellow card, they get back up like nothing's happened.
Anyways, and then they top at bar. But on the other side, you know, at different times we had a really good shot in first half, a really good shot, powerful shot on the full toss by Herbie Kane, and follow up. I thought he were going to break net if he did hit net. Adam Phillips, you know, good save by goalkeeper. Adam Phillips followed it up. Unfortunately, smacked it. Well, it felt as though he was smacking it out at ground. It went there high, but it would have brought net if it did hit net. And then, you know, second half, Luca had a good chance, and of course we square. And I'm thinking, this is the moment. This is the one. It's Corey O'Keefe. It's Corey O'Keefe. He's there, you know. So underneath crossbar, you know, tries to place it. I played it really well underneath at bar and out, and then a header just wide. So that were a shame, but it could have gone either way. If you hadn't been a Barnsley fan or a Peterborough fan, it were a great, absolutely great advertisement for League One football, because both teams could have won that, and you know, nobody could have had any complaints. Well, I think we did well to get, you know, a shame too. It does feel sometimes like two points dropped, because we were in a strong, dominant position and on top, playing better, and deservedly so, when they got their 2 goals just either side of half time. So in that respect, it feels a bit. But what a thing to come away from Peterborough, drawing 2-2 and thinking, oh, we should have won that, or we could have won that. Well, what a game.
I think that's a good point you made there, Andy, because I think when you think about where we were when we played at home this season, we almost seemed worlds apart from them. Whereas now we're sort of coming away from London Road thinking could have been 2 points more than what we did get. Craig, it's obviously nice to see that jump up and step up in quality. To be fair, in a fairly short period of time as well, in which we have done that in 3 months, 4 months it's been since last played Peterborough. And as we mentioned on the last show, they've got better high scorers in the league, one of the best defenders in the league, and we've gone and matched them away from home as well, which is typically harder, but for us this season, it is easier than playing at home.
Well, Barnsley fans are louder away, aren't they, than they are at home? So the team know that they've got fans behind the back. But yeah, I've been impressed especially this last month. I think having Connell's back is huge. Roberts back also. I think missing them two were 2 key cogs, and it looked like we were on that downward spiral I was talking about. But having them 2 back in, I mean, Connell's constantly shouting at his teammates, telling them to push up or push down. He's really organising defensively that really well. Obviously, Robert's a fantastic goalkeeper. We're probably going to lose him in January because Middlesbrough's keeper's going to AFCON. So I think we're going to need to replace him in January. So I just hope we've got shortlists ready. Them spreadsheets have been out, and we've got goalkeepers, a long list that we can go through. To replace him, but just one thing on
He's
John
not
Williams.
gone yet, Craig. Don't keep thinking it.
I'm
Craig.
just saying what's reported.
Have some New Year cheer, Craig. Have some positivity. It's New Year, a new beginning. Don't always think, oh, he's going. Don't start all that flipping transfer window and all. They're all going to return. We're not going to sign.
So should I not say what I see then? Should I talk about everything that's all about flowers
yeah. Talk about flowers.
I think the silver lining to Roberts, is normally if they're going to get recalled, they get recalled immediately. Like we've seen Dane Scarlett already go back, and Port Vale have lost a player already as well. So I think almost silence is golden at the minute, because I think if they were to recall him prior to the Wigan game.
You could be right, Craig. You could be right, but let's wait and see. You could be right.
Yeah, I am hoping. I'm hoping that we can just, 11th hour, we can just go and say, right, we'll put this money on the table, accept it, and then go buy your centre backup keeper. Let us have this guy. So, I mean, his contract's up in 6 months anyway. We can't obviously approach him until he's in the last 30 days, I think.
How old is he?
22, 23?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so the last 30 days. If I don't know, if a German club comes in, they can offer him a contract now. So it's 6 months. But yeah, I think there's a lot for the recruitment team to do. But like I said, 2 or 3 key signings, and I think we have a big shout.
You know what'll happen, Craig? Charlton will come in for him.
What, I'll stick him on bench?
Yeah. Or Coventry. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I can't believe that happened.
Tom, do you think we are 2 or 3 players away? I think, to be fair, I think there's probably a general consensus in that we are. And if so, are you the same as Craig, as in centre backs sort of the key priority?
Yeah, it's a minimum of 1 centre back, prefer 2. And I kind of agree with Craig that we need a backup for Luca Connell, but again, how? Because he's probably best midfielder in the league. He's definitely best midfielder at Barnsley. So how do you have a backup for that? Because there's just drop off is just massive.
I don't mean somebody that plays like him, can read the game like him. I just want a better alternative to Russell.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I was just saying, like, I feel sorry for any player that sort of replaces him in the side, because they immediately get compared to him. And like, I don't think Russell's a horrendous player. I think he can do a job, but like, he is slow, and you've got to sort of adapt your game to that. And he gets absolutely rinsed because he isn't Luca Connell. But then you look at, you know, the entire team. Nobody's Luca Connell. You know what I mean? He's. I mean, if he's still here at end of next year, end of summer, I'd be surprised, because he's championship quality and above. And if we don't go up, I can't see him staying. But it is, yeah. I think we do need, if he gets suspended, because he seemed determined to, because was it 3 yellows in 3 games? Yeah, he seemed determined to get a suspension.
Has he got up to, because it does threshold, done it, at 5 and then 10? Are we at that 10 threshold yet? Because I'm just glad he missed them first 3 months now, looking at his disciplinary record.
Tell you, just game to stay on his feet, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, so he just seemed determined to hit a ban at some point, and like I said, the drop off is just horrific, really, to be honest with you. But we saw that last year, because every time we didn't play under Duff, we looked to shadow ourselves. So to be honest with you, to get as many points as we have done, and to have won as many games as we have done without him at the beginning of the season, I think we've done quite well.
Drives us forward, Tom. We've stopped on yesterday's showing and previous matches recently. He's pushed us forward. We've stopped the crab football in the main, and he pushes people forward. And look at the difference in Herbie Kane going forward. It was a massive play yesterday. Man at match for me yesterday. It was outstanding yesterday.
What match of season for him?
Yeah,
it really was.
The last match he were all right with his lovely pass again against Stevenage, and followed it up again today. And that comes with knowing that there's Connell behind him, and he can go forward and hurt teams where he needs to be and what he needs to do, rather than coming and receiving it, passing it back, and what have you. So it makes a difference throughout the squad.
Interview that they had a few weeks ago on BBC Sheffield, he's scored or assisted in every game, or he's contributed in that. So a weird one. And also when you look at Adam Phillips's season, suddenly turned around since Luca's coming back into the side, and we've not lost since Luca's been back.
Yeah,
I think we said when we heard he were coming back that he gives the other two the freedom to go forward, because they know that they've got him behind, and they're not defensive type players. They want to go up and they want to have long shots. They want to get their way into area. They want to influence things up the pitch, and I think that's probably what held us back a little bit in the first few months, because they wanted to go up and they were being told to sit back a little bit. And I think it's really freed up. I mean, they were fantastic last season, all 3 of them, and they're coming into form again this season. So keep hold of them, add a couple of names in that back line, and it's going to have some real issues, some teams against us.
Yeah, I think I saw a thing the other day as well. Some sort of EFL 72 show that's on Twitter, and all barring one of them said Luca Connell's the best player in the league.
Yeah,
so
I saw that too.
I think to back him up, like you both mentioned, Craig and Tom, the drop off is going to be huge, because he's possibly the best player in the league, and to get a backup that's sort of adequate for that is very, very difficult. as well. Right, looking forward then to Monday's game where we welcome Wigan Athletic to Oakwell. And there's a little bit of spice to this one from a few seasons ago as well, which we had nothing to do with the financial mismanagement of their club, but we weren't allowed to.
They love us, don't they?
That's it. Ramp it up again, Josh.
Yeah, just getting a little
You've
bit.
only yourselves to blame. Go on, ramp it up.
Just adding some needle into this one. So looking at Wigan, obviously with an 8-point deduction this season, they will be sat ninth in the league.
Did we do that? Did we give them the 8-point deduction?
Yeah, it's our
I just
fault.
want to know before comments start coming. That's all.
This one wasn't our fault, I don't think, and we had nothing to do with it, which is great. So yeah, they will be sat ninth, so obviously in a bit of a false league position to sat 18th. Sean Maloney's manager, Stephen Humphrey's most goals this season with 8. Form has dropped off massively recently, to be fair. 3 losses, a draw and a win. And key player is Martial Godot, who I pulled out, who's played 10 and assisted and scored 3 apiece. So in minimal time, seems to be having a maximum impact. So Craig, obviously beat them earlier in the season, but at the time, a little bit of context, I went down to 10 men, and we seemed to sort of see the game out. How do you feel about this one?
I feel a lot better now. We've got through Peterborough. I thought it could have hurt us if we'd have been beaten badly by Peterborough, but we're not. We've come through it. Got a nice point. Played at home, so that, I mean, the crowd seems to be getting a little bit better at home over the past few games. I guess that last game we played, I thought we played well, and it wasn't as strong as the squad is now. I think we had Jack Shepherd in back then, and there are a few names to watch out for. There's Wyke, Pierce, Lango. I were really impressed by last game, and Humphreys as well. I think he's a brilliant player. But Wyke, I think he's scoring a lot of goals. I think he's scoring 1 in every 130 minutes of gameplay this season so far.
Yeah, it's got about 7 and 15, so it works out.
Yeah, they're an aggressive bunch because in the last 5 games they've had at least 4 yellow cards. They also had a game against Stevenage earlier on this season where they had 11 yellow cards. And which will be no surprise that they have the most yellow cards in the league currently this season. I think we'll have too much for them. The form is up and down, and they can't seem to get anything to stick. I think they've got some quality players in there, but I think the issues are far and beyond what's happening on the pitch still. I think that overshadows the whole club, even though they like to blame other clubs for having a bit of fortune when they've had misfortune, and then it's all the other clubs' fault. And personally, I'd blame my own owners for financial mess-ups and mishaps, but not everybody's the same. But yeah, I expect us to beat them. I think they're more than beatable.
Yeah, I think so. Tom, obviously it's always a difficult cycle. When you look at Wigan, you look at the position, you're like, oh, easy 3 points that. But given they should be sat ninth, which is I think just a position behind Blackpool, and it just placed them above Bristol Rovers on goal difference, if memory serves me right. It doesn't feel as clear cut then as what it should do. Necessarily as if we were playing a side that was sat in 18th, and as Craig's mentioned already, an aggressive side which not really something that I don't know if we fare well against that or not necessarily.
Yeah, we don't seem to do brilliantly against physical sides, but where we've been playing recently, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll probably pass it round them and frustrate them, and they'll probably pick up a fair few yellow cards just through sheer frustration and kicking Herbie Kane. To be honest with you, well, it gets fouled quite a lot, doesn't it? To be fair on him,
gets fouled, throws his centre floor. Who knows the difference?
Yeah,
goes down well.
It does. So yeah, I'm not particularly worried about this game. I'm going into a game probably first time this season quite confident. Like like Craig says, we're a lot stronger than when we faced them last time, and we outplayed them last time. Granted, we were a man to good, but I don't think there's anything to fear there. I think if we play our game, I think we'll pass it round them, and we could put a fair few past them, and
I think
get
they
that
were
goal
unbeaten
difference.
as well last time we played them, near enough.
I think they shot up table at that point. Like I
Yeah,
think
they
they
were
might have been
really in a
already
good
like
vein
back
of
on
form as
0.
well.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it is nice to see. It's nice to see this positivity and confidence, especially from the last show in which we did have been like, oh no, we're playing Peterborough, we're struggling. So Andy, bring us back down to earth and probably tell us some facts and stats of why Wigan might beat us or will beat us more
Remember
than
the flowers. Remember the flowers.
Oh, I think they'll beat us 4-1. I'm sorry, Craig. I'll give you a cuddle when we meet up on Monday, Craig. Yeah, we got to remember that their league position, as you've said, Josh, is nothing, not points deduction and all that. It's nothing about where they really are. They're a decent side and they can hurt people. Big, strong physical team to be. McGuinness up front is a good player. I personally, I mean, we know Charlie White, we know him, and if he plays, and maybe they'll play them both against us. I would be thinking about doing that because a big strong lad like Charlie, we have been struggling against big strong. We do until we get that big Brusson centre half. We'll continue to. So that's a danger. I personally like Stephen Humphries. I think he's an outstanding player, and I know we've talked about Luca earlier, but I think he is one of the outstanding players in this league. And like we're lucky to have Luca, they're lucky to have him. I like Wigan Athletic. I know what you're two saying. You're trying to wind it up to get comments from flipping Wigan. I like Wigan. They're another, they're like us. They're a northern country that northern club like
country.
that.
Massive.
Country. Well,
They'll enjoy that.
They've got their own pier. Well, they're in Road to Wigan pier that int. And they sometimes like us. They're flattered to deceive. They've done well, and then they've not done so well. So you've got to like other things, and stop all this we got them relegated nonsense. As you've said, it's your own fault. It was your own fault. As Craig says, he blamed our owners when we were struggling. Blame your owners, not us. You went down. You thought take the points deduction and you'd stay up, and you didn't. So they need to get all that. But we need to stop ramping it up and all, and be kinder. It's New Year. Be kinder in New Year, you two. Don't be like me and Tom. Be kinder.
What you been supping over Christmas? You come out like this glowing effigy of just peace and harmony and loveliness.
Still having Baileys on his cornflakes.
That's it, yeah.
I don't drink. I'm not like you. I'm not like you, Tom.
I don't drink
like
you,
I
don't.
Did you see the comment from Tom? He went out with his mates and had a number of drinks, then went round to his mum's for pie chips and gravy, and felt very northern. I don't like to tell you, you are northern, love. You don't need to have pie chips and gravy to be northern. You are. So they could hurt anybody, but the danger, because we played so well recently and got a really good return over the holiday period. Truthfully, better than we thought. Before matches, we thought we might struggle at home to Stevenage because they're a strong side and get in your face and what have you. Steve Evans' side, and we dealt with that. I know it was close in the end, but we dealt with that. And then yesterday we dealt with Peterborough and look, I thought with the better side in both games. Looked really good. Port Vale in the middle, tried to throw it away, but we raced into a lead. What were better, I thought, against Peterborough is that we seemed to do it over 90 minutes, not just Smithy's 45 minutes. So I'm chuffed about that. So that's good. The danger is is becoming complacent and thinking it's we're going to walk it. It's going to be easy. We play well by going for it, and we've seen it. But last couple of matches, we go for it and close them down like we did yesterday. Then they will struggle to live with us. They've got the best goalkeeper at Well. We Tickle. What a name! great Nate. And he's a decent goalkeeper. You know, I can't remember him pulling out a number of good saves when we played them at their ground.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've got Fountain at the back, he scored yesterday. But as you've said, Josh, until they beat Carlisle yesterday 2-0, they've lost the last 3 matches. So, you know, it's football's fine margins. Let's hope we continue our trajectory, because we all hoped but didn't expect we could be in the playoff places after this game. We could be if we continue to do what we need to do and do it right, rather than just assume that they're just there. All we got to do is turn up. If we just turn up, they'll wax us. If we turn up, they'll not live with us.
I think that's sort of the key theme throughout, especially now, seeing as we seem to have turned that corner a touch. So before we do our predictions, here is a quick update on the mini league, which comes to a head against Wigan at home. And Andy, it is tight at the top.
I'm gutted. I'm thinking it's there for me, because I've only got a 10-year-old, little Al, George Webster, Islad, above me, 1 point above me. And I'm thinking it's easy. It's me and George all the way. And at the last minute, I'm going to pip him because he's a scamp, innit? He's 10. I'm not going to finish below a 10-year-old scamp. I tell you now, I'm not going to do that. But look at what happened from nowhere, sneaking up like Barnsley did under Heckingbottom in 2016, coming up on the rails to be equal with little George, Marley Clinton. He's come from nowhere. I'm looking up at George, and Marley's come up behind me. So them two are at the top with whatever it is, 15 points. With me, we're a point behind them. They're going to do me. I can feel it. I'm going to get done by them both, and I'll be gutted. I'll be gutted. So I'm hoping to predict something like 10-0 to Barnsley. We win 10-0. Nobody else will predict that. And if we win 10-0, then I'm there. I know I can't win it, Josh. I know I can't win it.
It's still for personal pride, though, isn't it?
I know, but look at everybody else. You know, everybody else has been. Everybody else. And in the season competition, he's up there with Tony now. He's equal with Tony in the season competition. George is making mugs of us all. Absolutely all of us. Especially his dad, I hasten to add. He's making mugs of. In fact, Laura, Tom's wife's making a mug of Tom. They're all making a mug of Tom. But you know what can you say? So it's all to play for. Three of us can win the mini league. You know, well, you know, at least one of us can. But let's see. So all to play for. I'll give a blow by blow account as the game progresses on Monday.
Yeah, and we'll be back. It's gonna be like a final day decider there.
Like a Grand National. Grand National. I'm gonna come up on rails behind them both.
Exactly that.
Snatch victory from young kids. I'm gonna snatch victory. You've been warned, George and Marley.
What's your prediction then, Andy?
Don't cry, lads. Don't cry when I sneak up behind you. 2-1 to Barnsley.
Yeah,
tried and tested, John. Tried and tested. Except yesterday. Well, tested yesterday.
That must be the most resulted Barnsley score of the last few seasons. I feel like if you predict two in this competition, you just win.
Well,
we'll win.
We're just where are we all at league? There's only Craig making a fist of it. You're two. You may as well not. I don't know why you're two bother predicting, because it's.
I feel like I
won't get anywhere.
I'm still in that first half at Chiefs. I'm all right with that.
Come on, you 2-1. Come on.
Tom, what are you having?
I think there's goals in this. I think there's goals in it.
Just go and ask George, and he'll just tell us what score it'll actually be. We'll not bother watching it.
It's ridiculous, to be fair. I think it was 3-1 he predicted on Port Vale, and we're absolutely gutted for that last minute goal. And he predicted 3-2 to Peterborough. And he predicted 3-2 at Peterborough. I'm fairly sure when they went through 1-on-1, they were cheering Peterborough on. But yeah, I think there's goals in this. I really do. So I'm going 3-1.
I thought you were 0.
Well, that's that then. It's not going to be 3-1 then.
Greg, what you fancying?
Well, I just want to tell you a couple of stats. Now we are 1 loss in the last 13 games. Also, I found an interesting stat. You might find this interesting, Josh. That the top 4 teams that have done 500 or more crosses in the league, the top 4 teams that have done the most crosses in the league, they're all in top 5. So there's only Bolton that hasn't. So that might be something Collins might want to look into. But I think there's goals in this game. I think we're going to edge it. I'm going to go 3-2. 3-2 Reds.
Oh, that's close. I'm going to go for 1-0 to us. I don't think there's goals in it. I think it's a snatch and grab, and we'll see you later. And it's a good start to the season. Good start to the year, sorry. And that'll be lovely. Right. Make sure to get your predictions down in the comments below. Even if it's first time predicting, you're probably not too far behind in the full season. Given especially you'll definitely overtake me by that. And the new mini competition will start after our next game after Wigan, which I don't know what is, seen as the FA Cup. And it'll be a week off.
I think we're off, aren't we? We're supposed to play Oxford.
Yeah, so we've got a week off, I think. So yeah, the next mini competition will be starting after the Wigan game. And make sure to like, subscribe, get your predictions down below, and we'll see you later.